Good morning, my friends. DRBMiller here. Welcome to our Destiny world. Destiny 1 world this is, compared to Destiny 2 Forsaken of last night. We are starting our broadcast somewhat later, due to the fact that I did have a somewhat late night Destiny 2 Forsaken broadcast yesterday. The reason for that is quite simple. Bungie introduced a major update yesterday, and I wanted to start everything around 8 o'clock PM, and it did take 90 minutes for this update to be downloaded, then to installed, and everything else was then seriously delayed. And as you know, I'm progressing down the route of Destiny 2 Forsaken. I completed the third DLC, we've gone to Black Armory, and we are doing all sorts of things which are quest and season related. One of those was to repair the Hunter Talisman, and I completed some of that, but as it is a very lengthy, long-winded quest which requires a big lengthy grind, then I just left it also for another day. We'll probably carry on with that today, later in the evening. And we are back to our Destiny 1 world yet again, as always, and we'll be helping our community members to work on the game, and also we'll be doing all of our weekly tasks, such as the weekly Nightfall raids, and the weekly Crucible, and then the weekly story missions and all sorts. Tahir Cool is here asking, are you doing a raid? No, I'm not doing any raids at the moment. Raids will resume from October of 2019 as we complete our first anniversary celebrations. So I will not be doing any raids at present. I will be indeed doing them with my teams as set from October onwards. So no raids at the moment on this channel. Flying Pirates is here. Hello, how are you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Hope all is well. Flying Pirates is saying good morning. Indeed, good morning, sir. I'm just about to be beginning with my broadcast. Yesterday, my Destiny 2 Forsaken did last a while, and therefore we are having a late start yet again today, which is going to change in due course. But at the moment, I've got to be progressing down the route of completing the seasons, and I'm doing everything possible to do that as quickly as possible. And therefore we are running a bit late every single day. We've been starting from 11 during the last, I think, 5 or 6 days, and I'm not really happy with this because I like starting early and ending early, but I've not been able to fit in everything. And as you know, the work in Destiny 2 Forsaken is voluminous, therefore there is a lot of work still to be done and completed. For all of you who are not familiar, Destiny 2 Forsaken had yet another update yesterday, so if you are to be revisiting the game, make sure you switch on your console during the day when you're not around and download everything that needs to be really brought to your console. Because guess what, if you want to be doing a game, or if you have a scheduled raid or a broadcast like myself, you are going to be very seriously delayed, because as you know, PlayStation 4 downloads take a while, and if everyone is downloading the same thing at the same time, it takes forever, and that's exactly what was happening yesterday. The game is still glitched. We've had several problems with characters not appearing in certain areas, therefore I have to be restarting the game, and NPCs were not there where they should be. The way to resolve it is to go back to orbit and then come back. It does take time, and indeed it is interfering with the actual gameplay. I asked Bungie for the reasons, and I don't know. I'm just waiting still for the answer. I want to find out what the way is to resolve this. I'm wondering whether this is somewhat my installation related, because it's been persisting since the day one when I installed Destiny 2 Forsaken, and I keep getting it every day. Unfortunately, the other day when Taco and myself were doing those bounties, those adventures, in fact, to destroy 6 barons in the Tangled Shore, we've had it probably about a dozen times, and it was very annoying. We had it yesterday about 3 or 4 times as well, and Flying Pirates was helping me with some of the tasks. So just beware of this latest update. We've heard yesterday that 2 areas are immediately affected. You can't get a respawn in the Crucible, and that's the result of the update, so you have to bear with Bungie until this problem's resolved. And then also there's another glitch where you can't be entering a certain area. I cannot remember what the area is, but already some problems reported. This is a massive game, and they're working on it 24/7, so the problems are expected. I mean, the problems are not major, and you can collect your loot and get your scores and everything. There are no crashes as such, although we've had a couple of incidents yesterday when we had to leave certain areas because there were no enemies or no characters in there at all. So I'm just asking everyone to be patient, and I think in due course Destiny 2 is going to be absolutely tip-top, and all the new content coming in. But I have to say, I'm absolutely astonished by the quantity of tasks that are being given to us through the seasons, and I've been doing everything bit by bit, slowly but surely, and I've gone already to about 650 or 60 light, and I'm quite happy because I'm very close to 700. So I'll be 5700 probably in no time, and therefore able to engage lots of other enemies that were causing me some problems in the open world, during the earlier stages of my gameplay. So today we are going to be continuing with our hunter, human male. We'll do everything as usual. I just do want to bring to everyone's attention my channel rules. In view of a few things which were said during the last couple of days, I had to introduce a very clear set of guidelines that concern everyone who is 18 and below. So please do have a look at my chat rules. They are aligned with Twitch guidelines and Twitch terms and conditions. So if you are a person who is younger than 18, you need to strictly adhere to this, and please keep in mind that if you're younger than 13, I cannot be bringing you live to our live gameplay on the broadcast, because this is against the law in the United States, and also it is against the terms and conditions of this particular portal, which is Twitch, and rules that is very important, and as obviously stated and published by Twitch. So that's been incorporated with the channel rules, which you get every time you click on my chat. I also like to ask everyone to be adhering to the channel rules at all times, because this channel is heavily moderated. I have two companies monitoring the content. They take action, sometimes without my consent, because they're authorized to do so, and they take action against anyone who is not abiding by those rules. So I mean, I need to say this several times, because I've seen that there were some people popping in during the last few days who are not basically aligned with those, and I just felt it was important for everyone to know that this is a family-friendly channel, and we do not swear, we do not get excited, we don't do silly things here. It is a channel that has a very serious approach to gaming, and we talked about video gaming industry and everything related every single day from a mature point of view, as well as presenting video gaming as a new form of modern art and communication all at the same time. And therefore we have those rules basically to preserve our quality and to provide everyone with a high quality content. I wish to stress this is not a channel for children, so if you are a child, that definitely need to consider this. And of course, if in the US, you need to abide by the rules, by the laws of the United States, and they come under the federal laws, when it comes to children younger than 13. So the rules are there on my chat, so please do not ask for those rules to be bent or broken, because I'm not going to do that, and my channel moderators will take action against anyone who actually does not comply. As you know, the action which is taken sometimes is draconian, and therefore I am asking everyone simply to abide by everything said. It's clearly stated, it's clearly visible. We want to make our community as vibrant and as happy as possible, and also we want to provide everyone with the highest quality content. So please, if you're not one of those people who is wanting to subscribe to the channel rules, please do not venture here, because indeed if you do, there will be consequences, and they will be immediate. And some people who have done this in the past will be familiar with the actions that my moderators and Twitch had taken against them, and I'm afraid that is all aligned with the rules, because if we have terms and conditions when we subscribe to the usage of a particular service, we are bound by those terms and conditions. I know they come out in small print. If you subscribe to your ISP or your satellite TV provider, you get lots of pages that need to be read, but actually they need to be read, because there are things in there which will affect you in case of any form of problem or conflict. And for anyone who's been in business for a long while like myself, I can certainly tell you that if you've not read the contract, in the old days you had to sign it and witness it, but that's long gone. You may well have some problems with basically retrieving your rights as a customer. For instance, in cases of unwanted charges. Some companies apply charges which are clearly stated in the contracts. For instance, if you are to be giving them a notice, it'd be logical for you to depart on the day when you give the notice, but they don't want to do that, and sometimes they have clauses that tell you you'll still have to be paying for 1, 2 or 3 months after the last date when you've given the notice. Usually it's 4 weeks in the United Kingdom, but in some other countries it isn't, and therefore you can take them to court, you can do whatever you want, but actually the contract you accepted stated clearly that this is the policy and the procedure, and you are a user who actually had subscribed to that, you agreed with it as you basically took up that subscription. So it's very important to read everything in small print, and particularly so if you're going to a bank and obviously taking out loans or proceeding with some serious financial commitment. But I'm just saying, because I've heard and I've seen companies and also individuals who were not paying attention to that, and then they had a dispute which in fact didn't work in their favor, because guess what, the small print said things which were going to work against them in a case of a thorough investigation. And it's just the way it is. So therefore I ask everyone to be simply abiding by those rules. They're very clear, very simple, and indeed they are very, very easily accessible to everyone. Whoever is accessing my channel will see the rules there, they're stated, and each time you click on chat you will get them initially. The rules will tell you what is permitted and what isn't here on the channel. Also, what you need to consider, everything we do here is live on air. It's both broadcasting live and it is recorded, so any form of misdemeanor or mishap or anything that happens actually can't be deleted. It is recorded and therefore it is there for everyone to see. Therefore I'm asking everyone to pay a lot greater attention to those rules. And also, if you're live on air, please do not do anything whilst you're live on air which is basically contravening those. There could be all sorts of things, but you'll be familiar that we don't tolerate great excitement, any background noise, any screaming and shouting, any offensive words, any swearing or anything else. So it's very important to consider that those rules are there and they are to be respected at all times. We have here Supreme Daddy. He's asking, what Destiny is this? This is Destiny 1. Destiny 1, the original, not Destiny 2 Forsaken. I do Destiny 2 Forsaken in a separate broadcast. And Scooby-Doo is here. Hello Scooby-Doo, how are you doing? Hello, good to see you. Thank you for joining our channel. Thank you for being here today. And we are going to be shortly proceeding to our gameplay here in Destiny 1. I just want to say, literally for everyone who is doing Destiny 2 Forsaken, keep in mind that that update from last night is very big, and depending on what edition you're running, you will have to be downloading it and installing it for at least 1 hour. If you have any raids or strikes or any other activities scheduled, bear this in mind, because it delayed me yesterday by almost an hour and a half. There was absolutely nothing I could do. In fact, initially it asked me that I'll have to wait 8 hours, and I thought there was certainly a glitch somewhere, because I couldn't imagine that the entire game had to be downloaded yet again. And indeed there was a problem and we had it all resolved in about 60 or 70 minutes and therefore my game was indeed ready to be live on air after 9:00 PM, which in fact delayed me for 90 minutes, and that was infuriating. So keep this in mind. Also, it caused you problems. If you are playing the Crucible in Destiny 2 Forsaken, you're not going to be able to get revived. This is a temporary problem. Bungie are going to be resolving it. And also there is no access to one of the other areas. I think it's one of the lakes on one of the planets where in fact just no access. There's a glitch in there. I'm getting the glitch, but I'm not getting any characters or activities, and that keeps persisting, but that's nowhere to be stated. It's just happening on my system, and I'm waiting for Bungie to respond. I've gone down the route of looking for the chalice, so I'm quite excited about completing those bounties, and to tell you the truth, I completed one of them yesterday, and it was the first chalice bounty completed, so I was very, very happy. And I still have to unlock the Dreaming City, and in order to do that I need to complete the quest with my my Hunter Talisman, and I'm presently doing this. But you know, action we had yesterday was rather fierce. There were lots of tasks, and I've got to say, lots of enemies are quite hard to kill, and despite the fact that I have already nearly 700 light level, still I am encountering lots of difficult enemies. And what I like about Destiny 2, it is a game tailored for everyone. You know, there's so many different activities that you can pursue. So if you fancy story missions, you've got those. If you like adventures, you can do those. You can up the difficulty level for those adventures. You can do the strikes on 6 difficulty levels. You can play patrols. You can walk through the open world. There'll be plenty of enemies there at all times. You can do bounties and quests. You can do literally everything. You can do PvE, you can do PvP, and you can do PvP and PvE together in Gambit. So, you know, plenty really of activity for everyone. And I would just like to invite all of our friends who are perhaps a bit frosty on Destiny 2 since the Year 1 edition to basically download Complete Edition, purchase it on $34.99, and then enjoy all that is there. And you will not be disappointed. The game's been reworked completely. It looks, feels, and it plays differently. And you've got to try that, you know, updated edition. If you're still considering the Year 1, then literally you are in the dark. And as you know, major changes are going to be introduced in September, where Eververse shop is no longer going to be monetized. You'll be earning your in-game currency and be purchasing everything with that. Also, all the other things are going to change, as we're going to have a number of old characters brought into Destiny 2. These are the characters from this game, Destiny 1 original, or the base, or the how do I call it? Yeah, Destiny 1 basically. And we are going to go back to the moon, and I think there is going to be a lot more of the RPG content. So, you know, a lot to look forward to, and definitely I'm quite excited to see how they are going to be blending Destiny 1 and Destiny 2 worlds together, because they want one Destiny universe to be applicable and approachable for everyone on any platform. So that is perhaps a longer term plan. So within the next 3 years we will see cross-platform access, cross-platform saves, and Destiny 1, Destiny 2 and everything else Destiny related made accessible in one big universe. So these are the plans, and I really look forward to that. Okay, so we've heard some of the news, and just one last bit for anyone who was watching my broadcast of the weekend. We've had some people who talked about this wonderful Bungie / Destiny event held in Florida called Guardian Con. And it's basically Guardian Convention, you know, similar to what we have with Comic-Cons and with E3 and all the other big events. And there were loads of people in there. And if you go to Bungie's Twitter, you will find that there's one wonderful, wonderful picture of many, many cosplayers involved right at the end. And it just feels like you would have walked into your proper Destiny universe. They really look so real. They look like the guys you play here in the game. So have a look and enjoy that photograph. Perhaps you can also share it, retweet it, save it. Make sure people see it and get to know about it, because this convention has been initially organized by one of the big Destiny fans. It grew and already is one of the major video gaming conventions in the US, with loads of participants, particularly considering that Destiny is one of the most popular massive multiplayer online games ever produced in the United States. And as you know, the community is incredibly big. We have very many community members attached to Destiny 1 and Destiny 2, and what better way, exactly the same for all the participants. Cross-platform saves, cross-platform access, and Destiny 1 and Destiny 2 in one big arena. I really look forward to that. So head to Bungie's Twitter, access those postings, and particularly that one photograph. It's been retweeted, I think, earlier in the week. No, yesterday, in fact. They received this photo, I think, from somebody who was attending the convention. And it just looks absolutely wonderful. And this is what we want to see. You know, we want to see our communities online growing and being established out there in real life. And they may well be country specific, because it's a bit difficult for people from the US to travel to Berlin and vice versa. But there you go, you know, all the people who are loving Destiny, and very many fans and hardcore veterans were there. And I think they've had a wonderful weekend on Friday and Saturday, and so we could see those cosplayers were absolutely phenomenal, and I applaud them for the hard work, presentation, makeup and all else that was presented there for everyone to enjoy. So the time's come fast to enter our Destiny world, and we are going to our hunter, human male, played by DRBMiller. we are, my friends. We are proceeding to our first destination, which I think is going to be the tower. As always, we'll go to the tower first to collect our bounties and do our admin. So stand by and then get ready to proceed.
What can we do for you? Stay safe.
We've gone to Master Rahul. We discovered that there are some items that we do not need. We always turn them into materials. And many items due to the fact we were doing Archon Forge yesterday.
Done. Received. All done.
Like we need to be doing that for a little while. Spent 2 hours yesterday doing my admin in Destiny 2 Forsaken. That's because after you complete Forsaken, the third DLC, you get lots of activity, tasks, quests and messages, and you have to get through it all, so you know, a lot of work to be done there. Destiny 2 Forsaken is a massive game. It's much bigger than Destiny 1, and there are loads of tasks, loads of activities. The vast majority of people who are not doing the annual seasons are missing out on a lot. Because with all the recent updates and everything that's been introduced since last September, the game's become really voluminous and massive in content.
A handful of those left in the world.
And as we know, almost everyone who plays Destiny 2 Forsaken was indeed here with Destiny 1. Is everyone familiar with these Frosties? Frost EE5 So let's see, we have solar double down, increased agility for 5 seconds. Sniper rifle ammunition, so you can have many more bullets for your sniper. Rocket launcher, so they really are very good. Actually, these are the boots that I could use very well. Excuse me. Rapid cooldown, tighter turn radius while sprinting, increased grenade and melee regeneration while sprinting, and change the stats and upgrades available on this armor. Okay. So really, it's the increase of discipline, sniper, and rocket launch ammunition that we are after. The only difference there is that the oh yeah, no, actually, it's better than the ones we've got at the moment, but I'm using my tarantula in there, therefore because tarantula is being used I can't really put these ones on. And seems this is for my warlock, that's not even for this character. Okay. I will need to go and put some stuff in the vault, because we have too many items in there. Let's see, with our weapons. This one. We already out of that, okay. We won't have everything 400 in there. Simple as that. Nothing else but 400. And the best way of doing it is just by deleting everything that we do not want to use. Conspiracy theory. And then we can have Anton's rule. So this is out already. Need to bring in some of these other items. Okay, so let me see. This one would be Neurogast Cloak, Vanguard Champion, Scout Rifle, Rocket Launcher. I can put this one in. Yeah, with those boots we'll put those Frosties in there, and we'll put Rat Poltergeist. Maybe we'll put another pair. And try selling tomorrow. Okay. So I think that should be... No, this one we don't need. Oh, we had that. Where is it now? Yeah, we need to get rid of some of the stuff in there. Right. Pick up this cloak. And then we'll just delete them. And then we'll put some of those items. Two of those could go there. We have too full, really. I'm being a bit brutal with my inventory because, you know, I'm stashing up all these things there in the vaults and they're hardly used, and really if there is anything I want to be using, it's 4400. So that basically needs to be... I'm doing that wrong. Mongrel needs to be there, and we need to go back to the vault and then put these in there if there is space, but I don't think there is. Is there? Sanction custom. That's it. Okay, so that should be more or less in order. 3-meter mask. Stag. Ian Tracer. No. Okay. I think that should be it for now. We should be happy. I just want to see something else. The weapons I have here, they start with 400, don't they? Yeah. Okay, so that is all resolved. Let's go back to our friend Postmaster and then get maybe
Yes.
a few more items.
Wonderful day, Guardian. Sign, please. Our apologies for transferred. Confirmed. Service restored.
So the next thing is again Master Rahul. Just remember, if you're doing Archon Forge, you can harvest many
What is
items
an
in there, get
engram,
really
you ask?
good quality kit and loot.
Let's see what we have then. Oh,
So
why?
we have
Pity
Bone
your
Crusher,
enemies.
Bogataya,
Very fine.
Boots, Takanomi. Oh, this I never had before. The Pahanin Errata.
Well
What that
chosen.
is. Pahanin Errata. Never heard of it before. What is it? Let us see. So this one we don't need. This one we don't need. And I think this one we don't need. And then ATS Tarantella. That's 390 worth belt. We don't want any of those boots. These are not really useful. And we have okay, so all of those cloaks are basically 400, so they need to be kept. Definitely not. The Fanin Errata. Fanin. No, Pahanin. Pahanin Errata. Pahanin Errata. Void accumulator, increased discipline, increased strength. Well, it's not really particularly significant, but it's rather unusual, so I think I'll probably stash it in the vault. And this Coyote's Luck needs to go to the vault as well. Okay. And then this one is Bone Crusher. And we don't really want that Bone Crusher. Okay, that's all in order. So we'll go back to the vault. And
We still have much to
we'll
learn
put
about
that one
arms.
in the vault. See armor. Yeah, I need to see whether we got anything else there. Okay, Cloak. Then we can do this one. This one. Okay, so let me see this one. This one is out. Okay, and then I thought we had maybe something else in there. vault, and then we need to place some of those items in there. We said we'll put this one, butterfly coil we'll put in there, and we'll put this coyotes, yeah, and then this one, cloak of the mantis, strip a cloak, exaltation vest. And that's going to be it, I think, for now. Not doing any more inventory. We'll go back to our friend here, Postmaster.
Your name?
Like that. But what's happening with our consumables? Why is it that I can't?
Guardian?
How's Bass?
See you tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll just go and buy some heavy ammunition synths here. We need to really use some of the glimmer because I keep getting 25,000 all the time.
Let's get started.
That's basically no fun.
Okay.
And buy it actually, although it's a bit more expensive than usual. We'll just literally bring it to 15,000.
Guardian.
So that I can be claiming extra glimmer from Master Rahul.
Come on. Cade's scouts have brought us. Put it to good use, Guardian.
Another helmet. That helmet is of no use.
Come back if you learn anything of interest.
And now we'll collect our mystery bag. Treasure of Ages. Curious to see what this mystery bag is about. What are we getting? Silver dust, horn, and crucible booster. Okay. We got another horn. Let's go back to our character. Let's see. Antique horn. Happy phone, noisy phone, Odyssey phone. Put Odyssey phone. And then in here we can have Mercy of Motion. Yeah, we'll keep that Mercy of Motion for the time being. Bring us for the... Oh, he's got something else for us.
Checking now. Have a
Another
marvelous day.
shade. Okay. One more shader.
Check,
Pick it
check,
up.
check.
Curious to see what this shader is going to look like if equipped. Let us see. Well, that is just far too bright for my liking. Look at this. That looks good though. Good design. Solarize. Oh, that's the one. Brush fire. It's not bad. Looks good. And then we have Azura. That's pretty good.
Whistle protocol broken.
Nine V. Actually, to tell you the truth, all of those are very nicely designed. I think probably compared to Titan, they look a lot better. But you know what? I like the one I've got the best. Val's Guard. Looks really beautifully in tune with that Cloak of Tanix. Cloak of Tanix is quite hard to get. You get it from the chest after you complete the strike. And I've got even 2 or 3 Cloaks of Tanix because I've been doing my strikes back to back. Right, so that's all completed. Thank you, my friend. I'll be back after another hard battle. Fear God, honor the king. We're not getting any rewards.
Close bounty on San Peter.
Bounty tracker.
Yes?
We need to get rid of, well, not get rid of, we need to cash some of our bounties. Many were completed yesterday. As you could see, secondary fire has been completed. Reputation up. Weapons expert completed. Some strange coins. Armor breaker. Strange coins and armor materials. Invincible. Mods. Okay, we've got 4 of those. And we'll pick up maybe this one,
Checking.
this one, this one, and heavy kills. Okay, so all of those have been completed.
Goodbye,
To
Guardian.
our delight, and we picked up all 4, which are basically a swift replacement for the ones that we just presented.
High security package. G is lost in the city. We're understaffed already. Can't fix the roof.
I'm actually delighted to see that we have lots of people here in the tower, and it seems to me there's been a great increase on the number of participants during the recent weeks after all those Shadowkeep trailers have been released. We have many more people quite interested in discovering what Destiny 1 was about, and you could see lots of people here, level 3, level 10, level 15, level 20. And that is truly astonishing. We'll do that again, come back and then wave at them.
Dead orbit package, spare parts, leaking. Oh dear.
And now we are going to go to orbit. And what we'll do is see that heroic strikes, I think. So we'll go to orbit, enjoy the view for a moment or two, gather our thoughts, think of the loved ones. Get some moments of peace and tranquility, and then we get ready for another battle. You ask yourselves, why is he doing this? Well, when you go to battle in real life, you never know whether you're going to come back alive, so you always do that. A lot of people have their death prayer, you know, before going to battle, so remember that. If you are to be wearing a uniform at any stage of your life. Let's see, set destination. Weekly featured raid. I didn't get a sigil yesterday, I forgot. Nightfall, Siva Crisis Heroic, weekly story playlist, Mayhem Rumble. Actually, we'll do maybe some Mayhem Rumble to warm up a bit. Mayhem Rumble is today. A Crucible. Camel. Carry on. As you know, I can't really do PvP all that much, and Mayhem Rumble is just here to warm up a bit, that's all. And then we'll do Siva Heroic Strikes. In fact, my broadcast today is going to be ending around 3 o'clock rather than 4. So I'm going swimming. I was not able to do my swimming yesterday. I had a few things to do, and therefore I need to catch up today. Remember, if you're a gamer, it is very important to be adhering to lots of physical activity. Swimming, jogging, standing exercises. Any of those will do, and you will feel completely refreshed. And I do that all the time, although I don't play my games seated. You know, I'm always standing when doing the games, and makes it a lot easier for me to feel fit. If you're seated for a while, you get stiff, poor circulation, all sorts. I guess particularly if you're doing shooters and battle royale where you stiffen up because of the tension as your desire to win and, you know, to drive forward whatever it takes. Looks like we are already there. Well, that's amazing. The anomaly is our map.
Mayhem Rumble.
Mayhem Rumble.
How will you fare against utter chaos?
No one there. It's a bit odd. You could see, because of my internet speed, I died before he died. Yeah, I'm doing the Crucible. It's just a warm-up. I can't actually play PvP due to my internet speeds. So, that's what it is. You're doing it just to provide everyone with a variety, with warming up, you know, a couple of matches right at the beginning.
Heavy ammo on the way.
Rumble.
Heavy ammo available.
Oh, that's too bad. Coming at me from both sides.
Five minutes remaining.
Oh well. 5 minutes remaining. Zuckist says Scooby-Doo is the account on my phone. Alright, no worries. I'm just in the Crucible to warm up. And I can't do PvP because of my internet speed, so you know, just a bit of entertainment for everyone. A bit of a death match. Get killed many times because they see me before I see them. I actually managed to get him. Yeah, he is on a faster speed. The other guy is on slow speed, you could tell, because he's taking hits.
Heavy ammo inbound. Heavy ammo available.
Yeah, I can't do anything against him. He saw me before I saw him. Could tell. Chase him in there. See him. Scooby-Doo says that the lobby with his friend. Yeah, it's just random selection, could be anyone, you know. You get people who are doing the Crucible all the time, so they keep popping up frequently. Definitely not one of those. With my super and the grenades I can actually do better.
Heavy ammo on the way.
Heavy ammo on the way. He didn't even take any damage.
Available.
2 shots, close range. Could see. What can I tell you? Always the same story. He has a good weapon. And he's on very good internet speed. Not taking any damage from me, this guy. 3 shots previously from close range, didn't take any damage at all.
1 minute.
Thank you, British Telecom. Thank you for providing me with such good speed, eh? See, he is on definitely poor upload speed. He's taking shots. 2 shots killed him, and I think I got him already about 2 or 3 times. The other guys I can't even see, they're so fast.
Heavy ammo inbound.
Alright.
Only 10 seconds left. Embrace the chaos of battle, or you'll never know victory.
Can't believe it, I got even 6 kills. So that means there must have been at least 2 people in there who are also with poor internet speeds, because otherwise I couldn't get any. Alright, we'll do another one. It's been good fun, and if the same guys are joining us in there, that'll be a bit of joy for me, right? You never know. The worst happens when I'm 1 upload speed and the other guys are like 1000, and then I can tell you, I'm just literally your cannon fodder. I'd say I like the Crucible in Destiny 2 better than in Destiny 1, because the maps are bigger, and they just feel there's a different flavor. And Zakaist is asking, may I join? Maybe a bit later. At the moment I'm just warming up, and we'll do some strikes later on. I'll just do another match and then we'll do PvE, because I don't really do, you know, PvP generally, so I don't bring people in to do together with me overall. I bring people in for PvE for the obvious reasons. Oh, there is a problem with loading. We are loading and loading and we are not getting anywhere. Taking a while, by the looks of it. We'll have to wait for a while until we're selected, so I'll take a short break. When I come back, we'll carry on with Mayhem Rumble. And there we are, Firebase Delphi. Which, guess what, is on Mars.
Mayhem Rumble.
Mayhem Rumble. There we are. It's going to be
Destroy them with your light.
the second and the last match of the Crucible for us today, and then we'll carry on with I can't believe that he actually died. So that's quite good to see. There are people in there who are also on 4 internet speed, so that's good. Yeah, for me.
Gained the lead.
That's extraordinary. I've never had such a good start in the Crucible, ever. Don't know what's going on. Well, I actually do. The speeds are poor.
Lost the lead. You're in the lead. Heavy ammo inbound.
That was extraordinary, I have to admit. Like 3 kills literally in the first 30 seconds. Unheard of.
Heavy ammo available. You're falling behind.
Oh, he wasn't tethered. He wasn't tethered.
Only 5 minutes left.
That's too slow, considering how fast he was. Oh. Draven says, I will not be able to play with you because I had my PlayStation 4 taken off me by my mum and dad, so let somebody else play with you. I'm really upset. Well, there's unfortunately very little we can do, and I'm sorry to hear that, but hope it all gets sorted. And don't worry, we have lots of people always queuing up to come in. We have Scooby-Doo waiting to come in at the moment, and we've had about 3 or 4 other bookings yesterday, but they've not arrived as yet, so you know, so there's no problem.
Heavy ammo on the way.
Draven says, it is my fault. What did you do?
Heavy ammo available.
He has that fusion rifle that's really destroying me. That's ridiculous. Rocket launcher. Right. Well, good for you, son. And this one is on very, very fast internet. He actually killed me before I saw him. Yeah, that one is taking hits, but I've been just a bit too slow for him. Curious to see whether another automatic rifle will do better. So that.
They've almost won.
Continental. I actually want to try this automatic.
Heavy ammo inbound.
maybe in another match. A bit too late in introducing it.
Heavy ammo available. You've lost, but so have others. You can come back from this.
Got passage coin. Alright. I'll do another one just to test that automatic rifle. Quite curious to see whether it would work or not. We'll see. I did manage to get 5. Alright. Now the other guys were much superior in every way imaginable. There was just one guy in there who was on really slow speeds. The other guys were absolutely fast and skilled, as well as in possession of probably 1000. So there you go. People don't realize, but your speeds, if you're doing PvP, are very important. And you really have to investigate with your ISP what speeds there are if you are getting killed all the time. You can see there's a lag. Because people who are, in possession of very fast fiber optic internet, they will have massive advantage in addition to the skill. So let's not forget, skill is all, but you can be as skilled as you like, and if you are on my upload speed, then you're not going to have any success at all. Therefore, when people do competitions, they're always using exactly the same provider, the same speed for everyone, so nobody's suffering any disadvantages compared to when you do it live online. And I'm sure you've seen it many times when doing PvP. And it's just across the board. Some games suffer more than others, but it's the same sort of thing. PvP very popular nowadays, and lots of people are very keen on competing against other people, especially doing sports out there in real life, and they get particular excitement from that awareness that they're actually destroying the other person's character. And the most popular PvP games at the moment are Apex and PUBG, and then you have Fortnite, of course, and you have Battlefield, Call of Duty, Blackout as well. So these are your battle royale death matches that people play 24/7, and because they have this repetitive aura about them, keep doing the matches after you get eliminated, they're also very addictive. And I always advise people to play maybe some matches for an hour, take a break, have a breather, come back in, and then carry on. I do not encourage people to do all-nighters and all-dayers, that sort of thing. There have to be breaks. You need to have a lot of water with you. You dehydrate significantly when you do those games, and have breaks and fresh air. And therefore your gaming becomes really entertaining, enjoyable, and a real pleasure. Otherwise, I have seen that on Twitter, particularly some of the younger gamers, they get really stressed out. And then guess what? It affects their emotions and the biochemistry, and they become really unhappy. And that is what we do not want to see, ever. We want gaming to be a medium through which people make new friendships, create new bonds, connect, and talk. Everything else is secondary. Exodus Blue, Cosmodrome on Earth, another map. The reason I'm doing the third match is because I want to try that automatic rifle, want to see whether it would work.
Mayhem rumble.
So let me see, and yeah, we aren't full team, so
destroy
that's not
them with
good.
your light.
See me.
Gained the lead.
I don't understand. He didn't see. There must be some sort of glitch.
Falling behind.
He didn't see me for some reason, don't know why. This is odd. less effective as Imago Loop. Imago Loop's a
Heavy
lot
ammo
better.
inbound.
So we'll keep our Imago Loop on.
Heavy ammo available.
So my experiment failed. That automatic rifle, the Continental, is a fluke. It doesn't work here very much. Well, it doesn't work for me. See, he didn't take any damage and he should have done. I've given him 3 pills, close range.
5 minutes remaining.
Okay. As to why he was not suffering damage in there.
Heavy ammo on the way. Heavy ammo available.
Rocket launcher must have been some very powerful weapon. What else? Ah, he was chasing me.
Heavy
Kill
ammo
one of his
inbound.
supers probably.
Heavy ammo available.
Oh well. It worked with that dog drinker.
Nearly lost.
What is that he is using against me? Didn't get it. He must have had some really powerful supers or something. Because he used it several times on me.
Crucible matches require more focus. Again.
Alright, so that was good fun. We've had a bit of entertainment, a bit of warming up, and we'll just carry on with our PvE as usual. It's a bit ridiculous, isn't it? Yeah, I don't get it. We weren't on the same team, so something's not quite in here. Alright, so let me see. Does Scooby-Doo want to join us? Just let me know if you do, because I'll wait for you here. And we'll do some Sivas. So if Scooby-Doo could tell me whether... Okay, I'll bring you in. Hang on. Bring you into my party first. Send the invite to Scooby-Doo as well for... No, that's wrong. Hang on, that's not it. Just a minute, that's not right. I got wrong. No. We need to go back. If you can just leave just for a moment, there's a glitch on the game. Didn't really allow me to choose the appropriate option.
Hi, Miller.
Hello, hi, how are you doing? If you could just turn me into team leader, because there's a glitch here on the game. Didn't really accept my proper option, which was to invite you to my fire team. And yeah,
sure.
That's fine. Cool, yeah, cool.
A friend of mine asked if he can join. It was the Kermit guy. He was in your game, and he messaged me.
Okay, he's not my community member at the moment, so I can't bring him in because I have 2 or 3 people on the list who actually reserve the space. They've not showed up yet, but I have to keep it for them throughout the broadcast. I can't bring anyone else in.
Yeah.
Because we have bookings, and you could see yesterday there were half dozen people asking. So obviously I've taken their request, and also the way it works generally is we kind of have always our community members coming in first. You'll get random Twitch people popping in, having a look, and wanting to come in. And indeed, sometimes I bring them in if there's nobody else who wants to join. But you'd appreciate that, like with any other community, you bring in your community members first and so on. So I apologize yesterday for the other participant who was, a bit inconsiderate, and he also is. Below the age of participation. In the US, anyone who's younger than 13 is not allowed to be accessing Twitch, and it's a federal offense to do that. So his parents could have very serious problems if it's been discovered that a child younger than 13 is live on air. And I've just reminded yesterday by my moderators of the Twitch rules, because there's a section in there which clearly states that children under the 13 are not to be participating in any live video forum on Twitch or anywhere else. So it's just a rule that has to be always enforced. And if, for instance, you have a broadcaster who's not abiding by that, then there could be problems for the broadcaster because it's breaking the federal law. So it's a very important thing, and I had to really put an additional, kind of a statement on my chat rules and the channel rules for people to read, because if they, if you're basically entering and they're not abiding by the rules, then obviously it's basically against the terms and conditions of Twitch. And also for anyone who's aged 13 to 18, they will have to have a parental permission to be participating. But obviously for older teenagers, it's not an issue. It's more to do with children who are 13 and below. That's the rule basically.
Yeah,
so
I'm older than 13.
Yeah, but basically if you are running your streams. Yeah, and if you have people coming in, because obviously you're a teenager, you're likely to be having some children coming in. Just enforce the rule immediately. Just tell them, because it is something that is easily forgotten. but it's very important because, you know, everything we do is recorded on Twitch, and obviously it's the evidence of activity. And we all subscribe to the terms and conditions of Twitch because we're using the service, and this is clearly stated in the terms and conditions. You know, the way it works is generally the algorithm will not pick this up, but you'll have a viewer who's watching your stream either on YouTube or replay, and they'll report. And then once they report, the Twitch is going to have a look. Do you know what I mean? I'm telling you because I've heard of other broadcasters basically having the channel suspended or struck off, and you know, it's just something that indeed should never be happening if one is abiding by the rules. So keep it in mind if you are doing anything live online. You know, it's very important. And basically, in view of what my moderator said yesterday, when I have younger members coming in, then I have to ask them to state. They need to write, basically. They need to confirm that they are of that age, because I've got no means of checking. Do you know what I mean? It's Twitch that checks the age when people subscribe, and we do everything here by the book. So anyway, I thought I should mention it. What shall we do? I think I wanted to do some Siva Heroic Strikes.
Yeah, the Nightfall's out. I don't know if you have done it already.
Let me think. Did we do the Nightfall yesterday?
I don't think so.
No, let me think. Just a minute. I think I was doing the Nightfall yesterday. No, I was doing it the day before. So that's a good idea. Let's do the Nightfall Strike, and let's go to the tower for me to collect the bounty. Let me just have a look where I've got the bounty on me.
Have you already got the icebreaker?
Yeah, I picked it up yesterday just in case, so we can go there straight away. Do you want to get the bounty, or are you happy to do it without?
Yeah, I'll get the... No, it's just do it. I don't need the bounty, really. I already have icebreaker.
Okay. Oh, I've gone the wrong way. We can now go to the tower, because I might need to do some admin very, very briefly. I think somebody's asking me, am I new to PvP? No, I'm actually a PvP veteran, but I have a very poor internet speed, so I can't play PvP. If you played against me in the last match, then you would see that I was lagging, and therefore when you fire, you hit my entire path, and you see me before I see you. So I'm just doing the Crucible here to provide the variety, just for, you know, the purposes of entertainment and fun. And it's usually fun when you get killed 50 times, you know, if you're not really used to that sort of savagery when you usually play on a better rig. So that's what it is. But otherwise the answer is no. I actually play other battle royale games like PUBG and Apex quite extensively, but I have presently a system which is based on poor upload speeds, and I got upload speed of 1. So if you are like on 40 or 70 or 500 or 1000, then you know you are obviously having a massive advantage. So I can't really do any PvP here. Yeah, I think he was either playing together with us or against us in the last couple of matches. A lot of people ask me, why is that you're not doing the Crucible? Well, the answer is the internet speed. I don't have fibre optic, and I can't have it in my local area, and I can't be changing properties just because of that, you know. So that's causing me problems. But if I was, for instance, to be playing on somebody else's system, then I would be able to do it back to back, be it PUBG or Apex. And actually not been playing any. I mean, Apex we were doing here on the channel because it was part of the Respawn promotion for 2 weeks, and that was the only reason. We were supporting Respawn with the launch of a game that's not been advertised. You know, all Twitch streamers that are sort of professional, they were doing this at a time, and therefore Apex and Respawn managed to get, I think, about 70 million people subscribing within the first couple of weeks. I think about 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks, which was basically a record of all times. And PUBG I played a little while back, so not recently, and not under the same username, and definitely not here on the channel, as well as Apex I've done recently. So these were the two. I've not played Fortnite much, or Battlefield, and what was the other one? I played Call of Duty Black Ops. Our friend who was asking these questions. As this is a family-friendly channel, I generally refrain from some of those PvP matches because they contain a lot of toxic content. Most frequently it's not directed at me, So it's like, you know, one incident in maybe 1,000 matches that you would get somebody who will say something, you know, bad, because they will see that I'm involved in the broadcast and they don't want for that to be spotted or indeed chased. But the toxic content is present in the arena, so people can see it. You get, for instance, people, you have a team of 4, and then suddenly one of the guys starts firing at a particular player, or they start hitting him and that, and you know, that's just completely unacceptable. When you run a family-friendly channel, you want activity that is accessible and enjoyable for everyone, which means for whoever watches it, inclusive of what we say, what we do, the way we talk, with a more serious approach to video gaming overall. And therefore, when selecting PvP matches or games, I will be very careful in terms of, you know, what I'm presenting, in order to avoid to extract myself and my community for that degree of toxic content. And I have to say, it's not happened recently, because we've had a troll coming in a couple of weeks ago from the Crucible, and I'm afraid he was taught a lesson, because we have 2 companies moderating the channel. We have Twitch, you know, safety team monitoring, and therefore we've heard no more from that person in view of all the reports which were sent. And as I said, some of those activities attract toxic content, and we do not want to have any of that here on the channel at any time. We want channel to be family friendly, we want everyone to have a lot of fun, we want everyone to be making new friendships, new bonds, new connections, we want everyone to be helpful, to learn others how to play the game, and then maybe, you know, do it elsewhere with their own friends, and generally having a lot of good time and entertainment. That's the, you know, the basic premise of the DRBMiller Gaming Dialogue channel. I think we've lost PSN network. Don't know whether you can see that, but there's outages on PSN at the moment, and I've lost my picture and display on my stream, so I'll have to restart my broadcast, unfortunately, yet again. Just stay with me, Scooby-Doo. What I'll do is I'll have to restart the broadcast, because the outages are affecting the video feed. People can actually hear us and they can't see us, and that's been happening yesterday and the day before, several times in fact. So what we'll do is I'll restart my broadcast, and I will invite you immediately. Stay here, you know, in my party chat, because obviously we can talk, but this broadcast will resume more or less immediately. So for the benefit of our viewers, I apologize for this. We are suffering outages on PlayStation Network. I lost the video signal, and I'm sure you can just see the blank screen with a dreaded yellow sign in there. And in order to remedy this, I have to restart my broadcast. So what I'll do is I'll disconnect from my broadcast, and then I will start it again. That's going to be happening within the next 30 seconds. So everyone, please stay here on my channel, and I'll be back together with Scooby-Doo in seconds.